Hello everyone, this is Christopher 21X coming back at you again. Today is Sunday, October the 15th, I believe. This last chapter from chapter 3 of Atomic Habits was definitely a little bit more of a challenge to write out the notes and to maybe understand, but hopefully I've explained it good enough. I'm lacking a highlighter this time, but next time, unlike previous time before, I'll have my highlighter. So this week I'm a little bit easier, and we've had to go into overtime with 2 pages explaining the book. It's been that thick of a chapter. Okay, without further ado, I guess let's get into it. This chapter, I admit, is a little more difficult, and I recall last year when I was reading it, I didn't quite learn all that I should have. Let's start from the top. A habit is formed when a said behavior is done enough times, it becomes automatic. All human behavior is a feedback loop with a reward-pleasure system, and this chapter breaks it down into how we manage it so we can bend it, so we can easily enjoy the ultimate freedom, that being time, having the freedom of time is the goal. Okay, let's see. Think of it this way. Habits are memories we learn from past experiences. Example, I for one love to skip reading directions and to move fast on whatever it is I'm doing. I'm just like trying to get in, get out, get it done most of the time. Okay. I've went through my life without major consequences of my said behavior. So that is why I continue the said bad habit. If I got fired from my job for like not reading directions, or say, I don't know, I got almost my limb cut off, that would radically twist my mind and say, wait a minute, Chris, maybe it is a good idea to read the directions. It is a positive note. I'm gonna maybe leave my side notes for later. I have some notes written on the side, so I might leave those for later. Okay. I came to discover in the chapter there are 4 stages to the habit. There's the cue, the crave, the response, and then the reward. The first cue is what triggers you to start your behavior. Example, I wanted to prevent staining on my teeth, so that is why I brush them every morning. The second crave is what motivates me to hence change the state of what I'm doing. An example would be, I like my teeth to stay white and fresh, hence that's why I brush. Remember, you're not craving the habit itself, but its end game. Delivered, let's see, game delivered. Note, thoughts and feelings and emotions of the said person make a cue, turn it into a crave. An example, a fat Joe hates the exercise at the gym and with the gym noise, so you have to turn it around. Fat Joe will love the gym if he makes the noises that are inside it as a positive, so therefore he will work out. You have to turn around what it is that turns you off from doing what you're doing. Say, I don't like to really study, but if I made studying fun, say with a friend, and I made it in a timely fashion instead of dragging on throughout the evening, I'll probably more likely do it more often and not look at studying as a negative thing. Okay, crave. A personal trick that I've learned to use to snowball my motivation to get me into rolling into whatever it is I'm doing, hence snowball, is plainly saying aloud the numbers 3, 2, 1 to get my ball rolling. Thirdly, the reward should teach you the actions you take were worth remembering, and that it will bring you closer to your, not closer, it will close the feedback loop. However, if you're inefficient with any of these 4 steps, it says in the chapter, you will fail. And your motivation will wilt for the habit. Last but not least, if your reward fails your desire, you will reason to not do it again. So remember, all these little small steps equate to one larger outcome that you desire. Example that I wanted to go back to with my 3-2-1 was when I was in my bed. It was 4 a.m. and my sling is off, and then I wake up at 4 a.m. notice like, oh shit, my sling's off. So I was like almost like half asleep. I was like a zombie. I was about to roll back into sleep, but then I said, no, remember, Chris, remember what happens when your arm comes out of socket. Remember all the shit show you have to go through. So what I did was I started saying 3, 2, kind of like rolling myself forward, and then 1. And I just get it together. I put it back in the sling even though I really didn't want to, but I knew well enough in my head that I had to do it. So that is one great way of using the 3-2-1. That was from one of the videos I watched, and one of the most, I would say, not potent, but maybe effective methods that I analyzed from the video. Now let's go to this page 2. Today we're having 2 pages of chapter 3. It was such a thick read. Let's go into it. Okay, chapter 3, overtime and think. Remember, the cue triggers the crave, and when your crave, say a beach home, I would respond with a large set career of making money. And of course, that requires a lot of smaller steps to get to that point, of course. But I was kind of sleepy at night when I was writing this, so I was doing whatever the hell popped into my mind. As my response to this is to give me my reward. Okay, I don't really quite follow that. Sometimes it just comes out better, like when you're, you know, just writing it as it comes out, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But here, now it doesn't quite seem to make so much sense. That's one thing I'll work on for you viewers, is making sure Chris's notes make sense. Okay, let's see. I got the problem phase. The cue is the phone buzz, and you get a text. What you crave is the curiosity of what that message or notification could be, and it's distracting you. So that's the negative part. Your solution is to grab the phone and read it, and your rewarding your cravings are satisfied. To create a good habit by making it what you want to be obvious. Say set time aside for your habit. So I would set time aside. An easy one that comes to my mind is running. I like to run in the morning, so I wake up extra early for it, so it's cool, refreshing, rewarding, all that good stuff. 2 is to make your to make it attractive, your crave. So I would go to the gym with the gym bros and make it a fun experience, so that every time I associate the gym, it's like, oh yeah, it's that time I get to work out with my friends, laugh, joke around and stuff, and make it a memorable experience and not one that would say suck. It's like, oh, here we go again.